welcome back to Oslo. Today it is a beautiful and warm day in the capital of Norway, and I'm a bit excited today because I managed just for a few hours to get my hands on the brand new 2018 Land Rover Discovery. So I'm really excited to see how this car drives. Let's take it out on the road and see how it is. So just so you know guys, I only have this car for a few hours. It's gonna be a quick review, maybe more like a first impressions video. What am I driving? So as I said, this is a 2018 Land Rover Discovery, the new model, the 5th generation, and this is an HSE luxury with dynamic pack, and it's a 2-liter diesel 4-cylinder with 240 horsepower. For reference guys, I drive a 2016 Volvo XC90 D4. That's the 2-liter diesel with 190 horsepower. That's my daily. I've had it for about 1.5 years. So you guys who are new to my channel, that's my reference point, and that's a car I have a lot of experience with. I've done almost 80,000 kilometers in 1.5 years. That's almost 50,000 miles. So that's going to be my reference point and what I compare this car to. And my immediate impression is that this car, they've done a great job in the sound insulation department. I mean, the engine is very quiet. You can hear that the 2-liter diesel in this is not as refined or as good sounding as in the XC90, but actually the engine insulation, the engine bay, just sounds more distant and more quiet, and there's less vibration. But I do prefer the engine note of the XC90. That just sounds more refined. That's the first impressions of this drivetrain and this engine. So sitting here at a stoplight, you can hear that you can barely notice or hear this 2-liter diesel, and that's very impressive. That shows how far technology has brought us in the past few decades, that a 2-liter 4-cylinder diesel can be as quiet and refined as this at idle. The only thing you can hear are the blinkers. Stuck in traffic here in Oslo, I just want to talk quick about this interior. So this is Land Rover's standard steering wheel that they have in the big boys, the Range Rover, the Range Rover Sport, and this, the Discovery. And it's really nice, but the button configuration is not the best I've seen, but it's of really high quality. This bit here should be leather in my opinion, but the plastic is high quality. This being an HSE luxury, it has leather on the doors, the top, and on the dashboard. But overall, it's maybe a bit boring, especially in this black, but the quality at least is very high. It really does feel luxurious in here. So something like an XC90 is of course more groundbreaking, more elegant, but this is also very nice. It's not over the top, it's just very simple with high quality materials. And I do like this center console, this widescreen touchscreen, which is Land Rover's newest iteration of their multimedia system, and just a clean buttons layout. And I do, you know, always prefer physical buttons for the climate controls. They're just easier to access, and you know, they work all the time. But I'm not as sure about this shifter. I do, you know, prefer the old school mechanical, you know, PRND. But the interior has been done really tasteful in this car, in my opinion. It's like a baby Range Rover Sport. You know, doesn't look as exclusive, and you can't get as exclusive materials or color combinations, but it does look really nice in my opinion. I do really like the interior. Rolling my way through Oslo on these broken streets, broken pavement, you know, tramline covered asphalt and cobblestone roads gives me a good impression about the suspension setup on this car. So this car is equipped with 22-inch wheels with very little rubber, so you will feel like the harsh impacts, you know, short impacts and sharp impacts. You'll feel that through the tire. And this is also equipped with air suspension, which is an option even on this HSE Luxury, but it's well worth the money because the air suspension does make the best out of this tire setup. It does give this car a comfortable, floaty, typical luxury car ride, which I do like, but I would not opt for these wheels. I would go for something like 21s or even 20s just to get a bit more rubber. Probably my favorite thing about this Land Rover Discovery and Land Rovers in general, and if you saw, my eyes went there because this cyclist just almost went into the road. There is a bike lane there, but you know, these crazy cyclists, especially in these big European cities, they're just insane and crazy. But back to my point, and back to that cyclist, is that these cars, you have this high commanding view and this large greenhouse giving you a great view out of the car. So this is not special to Land Rover, though Land Rover and the big boys, this car and the big Discovery, no, this car and the big Range Rover and the Range Rover Sport, you sit a bit higher than you do in other SUVs. So here I'm sitting, you know, maybe like 5 to 10 centimeters higher than in an XC90, and you really do notice it because you have this commanding view over the hood, and that's something I really do like, especially in city driving. It just gives you that extra view, that extra bird's perspective. One of the huge selling points on this car, and the thing that's probably my favorite thing of the whole car, is the exterior styling. So for the 5th generation, the Discovery has grown. It's about as big as a big Range Rover now, but it has 7 seats. So this cabin here is humongous. It has 2 sunroofs, one here that you can open, and back there you have a glass panel that's fixed. But it makes this cabin really airy and really large, and the trunk space is huge. But on the outside, I just think this car just looks the part. It's really cool, really modern. I do like the front design, the headlights, and the profile is just really long and really sleek and really tall. But the rear, with that weird non-symmetric license plate design feature, I'm not so sure about. But the rest of the car, I do think just looks amazing and spectacular. Does it look better than an XC90? Well, maybe, because you know, the XC90, especially here in Norway, is a bit oversaturated because there are so many on the road, and I had mine for a while and driven it so much. So for me, this is a bit more fresh, and I haven't seen many of these on a road set. I've actually only maybe seen a couple. So for now, at least, I do prefer the look of this, though the XC90 is just maybe just a bit more elegant. I do think this just looks more futuristic, more modern, and I really like the look of it. So guys, that was just my quick review, my quick first drive on the 2018 Land Rover Discovery, and I really do like this car. I think it's a really nice addition to the segment. It's a modern, a stylish, a really cool, and that's really annoying, that parking sensor. Why does it beep though I'm standing still? But back to my point, I really do like this car. It's really stylish, really elegant, and I would like to get my hands on this car for a longer period of time. I just had this for a few hours and probably missed out on a lot of stuff. So Land Rover reached out to me. I would like to drive this car for a longer time period and give you guys a real review of this car. So guys, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up down below, and for more car content, please subscribe. See you guys later, and goodbye.